I'll be working a bit more on my project tonight. I worked on it earlier today. My goal is to do a stream per day. Some days I don't hit that, so I'm trying to make up for it. Tomorrow's a holiday, so I don't have to go to work. So I'm gonna spend another hour maybe, or if the stream's going well, I might do longer, but I want to do at least an hour. Working on this. So let me update where I'm at. So the goal of this project is to first I want to train a model on returns. To do that, I need to isolate the data. Well, I guess the first step would be get stock data. Next step would be isolate the data to remove things that will that are just noise. Remove those from the model. And then I want to train a model. And then I want to develop a portfolio strategy, either from a machine learning strategy or just something simple, and optimize that to get something that significantly outperforms the S&P 500 is the first requirement. And then also it needs to be robust. So here's what I did in kind of the first iteration of this project. I got data. I decided to get it from a different source. The data's in the description. GitHub's in the description. I made a Discord for my channel, so that's in the description. So look up those if you're interested. But I got data. Initially, I was getting data from the NASDAQ, but you have to download a CSV for each stock for each day. And so that's going to be, in the long run, inefficient. I want to, the market opens at 9:30 Eastern and closes at 4 p.m. Eastern. So after the market closes, I have, what is that, 12, 17 and a half hours to train the model for the next day. I should be making picks every day with the model. And so I needed basically a more efficient data source. So I found this data, which is linked in the description. And this guy updates repositories on DoltHub every day with all sorts of things, but kind of the main thing I'm interested in is open, high, low, close data. Open, high, low, close volume. And yeah, that's just very useful because then when it closes, I can just pull, and he updates before the open, I can just pull the data, run the model, make the picks, and determine what I'm going to do for the next day. So this is kind of a basic qualitative analysis, no model involved. I'm not going to be able to automate that. Then I incorporated it into a light gradient boosting model. And I was able to get about 51.5% directional accuracy. And I even got a portfolio strategy to work on this. That's everything that's demonstrated over here on the right side. But the best portfolio strategy was picking one stock per day. If I'm picking significantly more than one stock per day, it's matching the S&P or barely outperforming the S&P. And so that's not really robust. And so I want something that's going to work better than that. So the problem is with, so I basically need to rapidly iterate and try a bunch of different things for training the model, training the portfolio. However, as the code's currently structured, I need to write a new script every time I want to change the universe of stocks that I'm feeding into the model. New script every time I want to change how I'm training the model and the inputs to the model. And then a new script for every time I'm doing a new portfolio strategy. And so this blows up the code base into a ton of files, and it becomes not very useful. I could maybe do this if I'm just using it for myself, but I also want to make a general tool that anyone can use. And so now I'm reorganizing the code base with this structure. So I already had clean data. It turned out that I wasn't accounting for stock splits. But I wrote all the code for that, so then I implemented that pretty easy. And so I'm building out the feature and target classes. I want to get every possible feature I could want for the model and every possible target I could want for the model. And then, so this is what I'm currently working on, and then I'm going to feed this into the returns model. And then once I build up this returns model class, I'm feeding that into a portfolio model. So the goal for this, here I was having trouble getting better than 51.5% returns. And so the goal for this is to get 53 or 54%. Uh, oh, 51.5% directional accuracy. So when it predicts it's going to go up or down, it's right on that 51.5% of the time. Now that's better than a coin flip, but I think that's the core reason why only a fragile strategy really works. I want to be picking definitely more than one stock per day. And so my hypothesis that I'm kind of working off of right now is that if I could get something that's 53 or 54% directionally accurate, then I could get a much more robust portfolio strategy on that. Okay, and then finally, this is the list of features that I'm working on implementing. The green, highlighted in green, is things that I have, so I'm making pretty good progress, and not highlighted is things I still have to get. And I need to, this is all on price data, except for this quarter end I don't have, so I'm going to have to get that from somewhere. But this is all using price data. So now I'm trying to decide, do I want to add features for fundamental data into here? And if so, that's going to take any longer or much longer. What I could do is just add all these features for price data, see if I can get 53 or 54%, and then add in the other features later. So that's what I'm working on today, is adding these features. And I need to pick one to work on. So beta I incorporated, but it's not working correctly. So let me see if I can get that beta. Troubleshoot why beta isn't working correctly. So it's getting beta. So let's see what talib beta looks like in Python. Beta function. So stocks adjusted close prices and indexes adjusted close prices, and inputs are real 0 and real 1. And then down here in the feature engine, let's see, if name is beta, args.append, if request.market column and group, otherwise append nans. So let me add a function here for test beta. Oh, I swear I was getting beta somewhere. So let's do it just like here. So get the data. Okay, now we have the data. So this was for spread AR. Feature request params. Rolling window to calculate the relationship. If time period is 20. Oh, beta is the slope of the regression line. Okay, so I have beta. Let's just get 50 data beta. 1 day beta. So it's the covariance divided by variance. Oh, so how... I guess it doesn't matter. All right, input type. Oh. Request dot input type of real. Okay, so I can just say input type is log return. Oh yeah. And then feature request. I want to say market call. Okay, so I think this won't work, but let me try it. So beta is just not gonna work. I need to rewrite the logic for beta. Okay, so if name is beta, we want to say self.input type is equal to log return. And then we don't have to do that here. So that's redundant. Beta will always be on log return. Market reference should be SPY. I need to add a column which shows the log return of my market reference. This should happen inside of worker in the if loop. If loop, is that what you call it? In the if loop for the beta function. Rewrite only the if loop for the beta function. To incorporate this logic. Explain why or why not this will work. And then what else? Will this be sufficient for making the beta function work? Explain why or why not. Oh no, this. All right, so then in the top here, and here we'll say if, I might want to do, all right, so let's just put this above that. Okay, so then if I don't add a market reference, it should just get SPY. Okay, now we have that, and then we could just do and then let's plot the prices and then beta. And I'll have to change some of this. Okay, so there's only one feature. So we can add the beta key, feature ax. Do I want to put this all in one or do two separate plots? I guess separate plots would be fine. I can change it later if I want. Okay, so this is gonna be I want to call this beta. Okay, I'm gonna leave that out for now. And then let's get the first 10 rows. Okay, so beta, close price, date, price X, feature X, dot set label. I could just do log returns. So I should add a second ref price X is equal to price X dot twin X, and then ref price X dot set Y label asset price, and then reference price. Feature X dot set Y label. So that should just be beta. Price X dot set title, that should just be prices, and then feature X dot set title. I guess I don't actually need either of those. I can just say fig dot subtitle beta on F over the past year. Do I need anything else? No, that should be good. Alright, so let's see what this looks like. Oh, it doesn't really matter. Oh. Let's go up. I still have that test on. Oh, test beta is now running. Good. Let's turn this off. I hope this doesn't take too long. Let's see. Let's see how long it takes. Oh no, there we go. So there's no beta calculated. Beta's all nan. Let's look at the features really quick. So once I have beta, it'll be easy to get that. I could easily compute a sector average. Sector momentum. I already have momentum, so gotta find a way to group. What's VWAP again? Volume weighted against price. Volume weighted average price. Okay, that should be easy to get. Okay, that looks easy. So I'll do that next. But I need to get this beta to work. Spy is not present in the data frame. Is that the case? Let's go look at the data. Hey, Sir Night Night. How are you? How's your day been since my last stream? Do you get a 3-day weekend this week? Do you get the day off tomorrow? So let's do df of where the account symbol is equal to spy. Okay, well that's in there. No. Did I? Beta feature. Nice. I've been last week I got worked to the ground. So I've been really happy. We get a 3-day weekend this weekend, and tomorrow I'm just gonna try to sleep as much as I can. And then next week's a 4-day week, so it's a busy time at work. So I went through a whole whirlwind. I lost my job 2 weeks ago, less than 2 weeks ago, and then I got it back 2 days later. And now I'm under the gun to do a bunch of stuff. So, but who can complain? The stuff's interesting. Better than not having any work to do. And it is in the data frame. Reassess why the error is happening. Shout out to George Washington. Uh-oh, what's up with this? Oh, I've reached my limit. Alright, let me go back to my other account. See if I have some requests on there. But I think I was using this earlier today, so I might not. Features are calculated in features. I am running a test for the beta feature in clean tests.py, but the output for the beta column. Dang, really? Is that why you said you were under the gun? In July, why do you have is your job getting automated by AI? How do you anticipate losing your job? My coworker, the guy, I like him a lot. I guess I would say he's my friend beyond a coworker, but he's losing his job in May. Maybe. The guy, our boss, likes to hold everyone's jobs over their head. But he might be losing his job in May. Anyway, that sucks. Do you have a plan? I started filling out unemployment, but then I got my job back immediately. My job makes no money, though, so... anyway, blah, blah, blah. Hopefully you have a plan. Good luck. Maybe your plan is algorithmic trading. That would be my dream. You just update a model every day and you don't have to go into any work. You don't have to work for the man. Or my YouTube channel's successful and same thing happens. Or ideally both. I think once I have a model that works and if I'm just talking about how the model does... Oh yeah, you said that your job environment had become toxic. Well, sounds like a nightmare. Nice, yeah. Trading full time, I like it. You're all in. That's cool. It's risky but cool. Life's about being risky. It makes it interesting. Oh, anyway, once I get a model working, and I get to the paper trading part of it, and I'm just updating. Oh, here's the pics the model made. Here's how it did today, or here's how it did yesterday. People would really tune into that because they feel like, it's the YouTube thing. You say this is not a financial advice, but if you have something that's useful to people, suddenly everyone wants to tune in. So my hope is that will help. Alright, let's see what it says. How do I fix feature engine.py? Are you just doing the stock market, or do you do like the crypto market too? or sports betting. Sports betting, I just feel like there's. I don't know if you were in the stream earlier today when I was saying this, but sports betting, I feel like there's so much more. What is it, alpha? Or you can generate alpha way easier. Because if you look at the stock market and the crypto market, really, it's a whole armies of quants doing models like us um, that are all fighting to find an edge. If you look at the sports betting market, there are a lot of people kind of quantitatively developing models and stuff and making picks based on that. But there's a lot of people. First off, everything's a short term bet. Um, but then the other thing is there's a lot of people who just are like drunk watching a game that make a bet. And so that seems like there's no one in the stock market that's just drinking and making bets randomly. Or I assume almost no one. Word to the wise. Well, why though? Doesn't what do you think about that thesis though? Don't you think there's more opportunity to generate good strategies? What about the market participants or a bunch of drunk guys? I guess, sports betting you could say isn't really a fair market. Hey, I don't know how to say your name. Something SF and Ahmed. Hey, thanks for stopping by. There may be an army of quants, but that's relatively nothing. Really? What about the fact that the prevailing wisdom or paradigm or whatever has become you don't want to do. It rewrote the whole damn file. Yeah, what about the fact that the paradigm shifted from you don't want to invest for yourself? That's what everyone tells you to do. If you're getting into investing, they say just buy ETFs, average into ETFs. And then ETFs, just armies of quants, dictate how those work. Well, there is data for. You mean there's no like order book data? Um, I mean, there's good sports betting data. I'm pretty sure you can get for free. But there's not a long history. The good data goes back to 2018. So, but then like I don't know about other sports because I've just looked into it for the NFL and I've never developed a good strategy. So maybe that tells you all you need to know right there. Um, but the NFL has data like for every play. They have a database you have to pay for. It used to be free, but now you have to pay for it. And they have every play that happens in a game. So that's like a wealth of data. My idea was you could just use that to generate win probability. If you have a good win probability estimate, then you could just arbitrage win probability versus whatever the win probability given by the odds are. Really, you think? I still in It's just my intuition, but I feel like I could find enough data to build an edge. But then it runs in if you're in the stock market, it really feels like God likes you making models for the stock market because it's just in accordance with reality. You're allocating money to companies, and I don't know. I am a capitalist, I guess. So I think uh, you allocate money to the right companies, you get progress. God likes it. If you're allocating money for sports betting, you know, even if you find an edge, there's no higher purpose. Um, PD merge destroys the sort order, or because the market reference data is missing. In phase 1, the DF merge operation used to join SPY returns creates a new data frame that is not guaranteed to be sorted. When phase 2 groups this data and passes it to TAlib, the time series order is scrambled. Okay, updated to handle the merge safely. So Oh, thanks. Oh, or are you saying too many confounding variables? What does confounding mean? That they're all talking to each other? You can't isolate good data? Like the line from the line giving the probability from betting. Um, what would it be? That line is affects other things. What really worries me about sports betting is guys throwing games. Oh, in the I forgot. This is why I'm not interested in sports betting, is because you have to do it on some offshore site or run from the tax people somehow. Because the big beautiful bill, there is a thing in there that you can only write off 90% of your losses if you're making money sports betting. So that basically destroyed algorithmic sports betting because um, if yeah your you'd go from needing, what is it, like a 53.5% edge to suddenly you need like a that would be 63.5%. The math might be a little bit off, but you go from needing a slight edge to a massive edge, and if you have 63.5%, that's hard to do. So I forgot, sports betting is useless unless you could figure out how to do it without paying that tax. And so then I wonder, why would they do that? You go, big financial interests control everything. You'd think those sports books, which have so much money to throw around, their interest would be to get as many people betting as possible. And that seems like it would kill sports betting. But it could be that it's in their interest to get as many dumb people not interested in making money betting as possible and wipe out the algorithmic people. Yeah, yeah, games get thrown, and you don't even know. Did you see that guy, the pitcher for the Reds, who was throwing games, and people would bet on, it was like whether his first pitch was going to be a ball or a strike, and he would just throw a ball on purpose. And there's so many things. Yeah. Wait, what's a confounding variable? The throwing games? Yeah. So people can manipulate the stock market, but it's not as simple. Oh, where's the logic? DF is that? It's processed refs. Processed refs. The answer is a political one with a sour answer. Wait, the answer to what? Making sports betting work? You just have to ban it again? I used to think it was the greatest thing in the world that they made sports betting legal, but yeah, there's so much manipulation and people throwing games and stuff. I'm starting to think maybe not so much. And like I said, there's no higher purpose. Okay, so here when I'm getting the market data, now why would I replace show me just the code lines for, why is sports betting being allowed for now? I don't know. I mean, I would guess, why did it become allowed? Well, I guess there's a few reasons. The pessimistic view would be, oh, the books wanted to make a bunch of money. And they have a bunch of money. They lobby, like the Adelsons were trying to make the book inside of the Mavericks arena. Um, yeah, so that would be the pessimistic view, is all the money people got together and wanted to squeeze money out. Um, the optimistic view would be that sports betting happens anyway. Um, and, you know, if I'm some guy, I say, I really think the Rams are going to beat the Seahawks this weekend. Shouldn't I be able to monetize that somehow? Or I guess that's what I always thought was if you have knowledge about a thing, you should be able to monetize it in a fair way. But maybe you could argue it can't be done in a fair way. Yeah, I don't really know. Um, but why would they? I would guess. Why do you think they legalized it? I assume it's because the big money wants to squeeze money out of people, out of normal people. There's a few crazy stats with sports betting. Like, did you see that domestic violence goes up wherever sports betting gets legalized? And then also I saw a picture one time of it's like legal in Kansas or Missouri. One of those it's legal, the other state it's not legal. And I saw a picture of all these people parked on the side of the freeway that had driven just over the state line, and they were all sitting on their phones and betting. And I thought, that's not good. God doesn't like that. Well, wait, but the sports betting became legal in 2018, which was still the Trump administration. But what even is the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau? It allows you, or it, I don't know, finds unfree markets. I think it's life, liberty, and pursuit of the happiness. And I think the fourth right we're endowed to is fair and free markets, participation in fair and free markets. That should be our fourth God-given right. Rate limit. Okay, I could just look through this. For rec and beta requests. So it's adding this logic. So I'm just gonna save this for now. And I'll delete that if it works. Save. Okay, it's still returning all nan, so that means it's crashing somewhere. Market SPY return is in here. out equals config of fn. Alright, so I'm going to add that in to print if we get the error. Let's see what the error is. Stock market feels like zero-sum game. Someone... Oh, no, I don't think so. I mean, it's a zero-sum game if there's just like a finite amount of money in there. But, you know, things grow. You think it's a zero-sum game? Well, I don't know. Zero-sum, if you say there's a finite amount of capital, somebody has to lose, somebody has to win. But I mean, if the loser is like a company, the idea is ideally losers are companies who suck. Hey, it didn't print the error. Try. Yeah, so it's I don't know. Does that make it a zero-sum game if the losers are the companies? If it works the right way, there are losers, but it's companies who deserve to be losers. And the people investing in the companies who deserve to be losers. But you know, that's why you have to be a active investor. And if you're investing your money in companies that, you know, are overvalued, then you deserve to lose money if it's a fair and free market, unless you've been fooled. And that's why we need fair and free markets. Everyone has a right. And if you're dumb, then you just shouldn't invest. Coffee being out is driving me nuts. Or buy ETFs. Yeah, but then the ETF, you're trusting someone else to manage it. But that's kind of the prevailing wisdom. The problem is no market, and I mean this, no market is free and fair. Yes. Well, it's kind of like government. Like, no government is not corrupt, but you also don't want to have no government. So you aspire to have an ideal government that's not corrupt. Or at least I don't think, I'm not an anarchist. Why are we not getting the exception? So it's saying if there's an exception, return nan. Does that mean there's not an exception here? Yeah, but so you can't ever have a government that's not corrupt, but you aspire towards that point. You try to asymptotically approach zero corruption. And I think same thing with the markets. You can't ever have a free and fair market because somebody's going to try to... but you know, that's why all these things come back to cultural problems. If you have good morals, you would never try to manipulate a market. So you need a good culture. I don't know. But I think we should aspire towards a perfectly fair and free market. And we can't ever attain it. And that makes it so that you know, if you're approximating, you're getting close to a fair and free market. Yeah, that's all nan. So why would that happen? It's returning nan, but the function isn't failing there. Nothing's being printed. So where else am I giving np nan? There's a reason why Robinhood is free. Why, you think they manipulate the market? Robinhood is free. Why would Robinhood be free? I always assumed they made money on transactions. No. Robinhood's kind of the like big data brokerage. Isn't that what they really did? Is apply big data to stuff. I mean, yeah, that is the question. Why are there no fees on Robinhood? And they were kind of the first one to have no transaction fees. And now that's pretty common. So why would they do that? I don't know. I haven't really looked into it. Tell me, what's the thesis? Why is Robinhood free? What's the theory? All right, let's think. Why am I getting this error? Oh yeah, I want to look up. Where's nan? Could it be somewhere else that nan is returned? Okay, does... Oh man, I'm stuck. Come on. I have to pound my head against the wall and figure this out. Why is beta not returning a value? Maybe I could ask ChatGPT. They say try Codex. Do they make you pay? Enjoy 2 times rate limits on other plans. Okay, blah, blah, blah. No. I just want to talk to a model. I don't know anyway. Oh. No. Okay, I'm not connecting my GitHub account, you ghouls. They generate revenue by routing customer orders to high frequency. Really? Seriously? So you make a buy on Robinhood and the data gets sent to some high frequency firm who has some, they can trade faster and they know you're about to buy, so they can, so basically they get the best, that's the best trading data you can get, huh? Well, more things to battle in the market. Well, what brokerage should you use? I switched to Robinhood. I used to have E-Trade, and then I switched to Robinhood, all because the graphs look beautiful. I'm such a fan of the lime color. Lime on black just gets me. I will. But then what's a good fair brokerage? What's like the best brokerage? My parents' brokerage, my mom, I don't know what my dad has, but my mom has like Morgan Stanley, and they're like, archaic. I have this code in feature engine.py to generate features for my model. When I run my test in clean tests.py, I mean, I'm saving this, right? This has been saved. I saved it again. Let me try one more time. When I run my test in clean test.py, I see that the beta feature is all np.nan. However, it's not failing inside the try except loop in the worker function. Yeah, so still all nan. Which I know because nothing is printed. What is the cause of this? I want to see data in the column for my beta feature. Data for beta. Let's see if it'll take these. Hey, thank you, Richard X46, whoever you are, for starring my repository. That's nice. I'm up to 5 stars. I think that makes it my most starred repository. Oh no, it's tied. But the NFL betting data doesn't have any forks. Man, this is taking forever. I'm figuring. No, you idiot. It is found in the data. So I think this might be what's happening. Oh, so it might just be nans because, no, it's all nan because, let me see, I'm pretty sure nothing's showing up in the plot. Yeah, so no data, so that means it's all nan. No, it's not. Okay, let me put the debugger in here after getting the plot. But there should be no log return. Yeah. So if there's any nans, if there's no nans in market spy return or log return, I'm gonna be really stuck on what the issue is. Okay, exit out. Sub df dot log return dot is na dot any. Okay, sub df dot market spy return dot is na dot any. So there's no nans in there. So let's just look at df. Oh, so there is beta. However, in the entire data, there are nan values for both. Also, in the entire data, I see that some tickers, like at the end of the data frame, do indeed have a non-nan value for beta. Use this information to determine what the issue is. Yeah, but the shift can't be the problem because it works for other things. Hmm. ChatGPT takes forever. I might be stuck here till I get more requests on Gemini. This is so stupid. Ah, the comment about the merge. So to get sector features, okay, let me put a note here. To get sector features, okay, so once I get this section will be done. I need to get these guys, and this section will be done. Get those guys, and so what do I have left? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 features left. So let me put a text box. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Did I delete that or something? 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. So I have 25 features. I have 10 left. So I've got a little under a third left. Let's see if ChatGPT gave any useful output. TALib function fails because there are nans in both f and spy somewhere. Okay, next is to incorporate a custom beta function using pandas to handle nans. Okay, so that's it for now. My next stream I'll do tomorrow morning probably, and I'm just gonna focus on getting beta to work. And once I get beta to work, I'll have 9 values left. That's basically 25%. That'll mean I'm 3/4 of the way through calculating the features. Let me highlight and say, oh, I want to put the screenshot in here. Okay, that's it for tonight. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you think it's interesting. Go to the GitHub if you think it's interesting, and join the Discord if you think this is interesting. That's it for tonight. Thanks for watching. Adios. The screenshot in here.